Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahwashai, Ba'asham Racha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, pushing this 100% to the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahwashai. And salutations to all your sincere Akim out there that are pushing this gospel in all righteousness and in all sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. Alright, so what you have here is a recurring theme with these superhero movies, man, because I was recently watching this new cartoon TV series by Amazon, The Invincible, which is based off a comic that was done over 10 years ago. I believe the comic was started in 2003. Alright, the comic is Invincible, and in it you had this character that I have queued up here, okay, Omni-Man, which basically, if you really want to go into it, he had the same origin story as Superman, or as Superman from DC Comics, okay, which basically was an alien. He's from an alien race of superpowered human looking aliens, okay, and he was the sole of them he was the only one of them that was sent over to Earth for various reasons, and he became a superhero, fighting battles for them and fighting against super villains and against other alien invaders and against other threats and the like. There's the same thing that you have going on with Dragon Ball Z, with Goku, and with Superman. It's a recurring theme in these superhero flicks, where you have these individuals basically, we have these individuals basically that are from a different planet, like aliens, and only one of them that they come among humans, and even go as and they come among humans and become basically like humans, okay. You have the aliens that look similar to, I don't really know how to explain this, but let me try and explain this in a way that you can try to understand what I'm going at. But you have basically you have human looking aliens like Superman, like Goku from Dragon Ball Z. If you watch the Dragon Ball series, and I'm sure everybody already knows about Superman from DC Comics. And now you also have this Omni-Man from Image Comics, okay, from this cartoon TV series that just recently came out called Invincible, okay. And if you've been keeping up with it, you already know what his planet what his planet deals in, which is the Viltrumites, okay. So you have a recurring, and I don't know any other series that uses this exact same theme of superpowered alien, of a single individual from a superpowered alien race coming to Earth. But anyway, you have all these superhero flicks, all dealing with using this same theme, of the single alien that comes down to Earth and protects it, even going as far as to protect it from their own people, okay. That's basically what I really wanted to just get into, because with Superman you had the General Zod and his other Kryptonian armies, because you know that his planet was destroyed and no other surviving Kryptonians, but the only ones that he knew about was Zod, like I said, Zod and his other the other Kryptonians that were with him. Alright, the reason why they came to Earth was in order to revive their own planet, okay, to remake the world in their as their own planet of Krypton. I had the same thing going on with this with the Saiyans, with Goku. Is the Saiyans coming to Earth in order to conquer it, okay. That's the same thing and that's the same thing with this Invisible. So this Omni-Man spent his time on Earth acting as though he was a savior for the planet, but in all actuality he was a alien spy that was sent there in order to conquer the planet, okay, to make it a part of the colony of his own people, which are the Viltrumite Empire. So instead of this, normally, if you have the mindset of being in this street, you would think that once you see this, once these individuals, Goku, Superman, and even this Omni-Man, would see their people, coming to take over the Earth, that they know which side they would take, okay. They would take the side of their people, especially in the case of Omni-Man, because in the case of this Omni-Man character from this Invisible, because he was actually actively sent as a soldier, okay. He was already doing the work and everything, but he decided to but if you go later down into the story, it's not I was reading the comics, okay, but in the actual cartoon series, they haven't actually showed that yet. But he betrayed his people. The same thing Goku did. He betrayed the Saiyan. The same thing that Superman did. Okay, he betrayed General Zod's interest. They not to and he betrayed his people, and even went as far as killing members of his own people. Okay, just to protect the humans. Okay, because and we know who Esau, and this hidden, and this hidden because that Dragon Ball Z was made by Ammonites, but we know what they are talking about when they say Saiyans or Viltrumites or Kryptonians. And if you go into the word Krypton, it's that the word Krypton actually goes back to crypto, which means hidden. But basically, you know what they say when they mention these races? Okay, they're talking about the Israelites, because if you remember the story, Superman came from the house of El, and because that's basically his family name was El, which basically means gods in the Assyrian Hebrew, right? So he came from the house of God, which would make him an Israelite. Okay, because what they are going into when they speak about all these super-powered humans is us Israelites, especially in our glorified states, and it is made even more glaring with this Omni-Man, because if you go into the ability of his people, they can live for they can live for thousands of years. They are invulnerable, and they have every other ability that Superman has, except for some certain ones. Okay, and that's why when Brightburn came out, the other Malcolm was constantly talking about it, because that is what will actually happen. But if you see all these people that have supernatural powers on the earth, they won't be here to dress in spandex and pretend to be superheroes. Okay, they will be sent here as like the first group of invaders for our Lord Yahushai, and they will be killing people and destroying everything, because that is exactly what we are meant to do. What we were, we as Israelites are meant to do. We are meant to destroy this kingdom. Okay, we're meant to herald and to speak on the destruction of this kingdom, and that's exactly what we want to see: to destroy this kingdom and to build our own kingdom, which are the kingdom of the Israelites, which is what these different groups of alien peoples were trying to do. Destroy the current society or the current civilization that was ruling on the earth, in order to bring out their own civilizations. Okay, in order to bring out, in order to change the earth into their own image. That's exactly what we will do as the Israelites. Okay, we will, beginning with our Lord Yahushai, we will change this whole earth into the image of the Most High, of Yahweh. Alright, and this whole thing, okay, with the whole Superman, the whole Goku, the whole Omni-Man, it's just Esau's false hope, and of course the hidden as well, because like I said before, Dragon Ball Z was made by an Ammonite. I believe his name was Toriyama, but don't quote me that because I don't remember. But basically, their hope is that that they can turn one of the elect. Okay, which is why the title of this video is what you can't turn the elect, because that's what Esau is hoping for, that he can make one of the elect to stray away from the Most High, to change his mind, to want to join Esau's side and fight against his people. Okay, because this is how delusional these devils are. They think that the elect would abandon our Lord Yahweh and abandon his people, right, the Israelites, to fight for you, heathen, and especially to fight for you Edomites, after everything that you have done to us, right? But that's why he puts this in his media, because it's part of his witchcraft, try to brainwash our people into believing that somehow, alright, somehow in some way, that all these billions of people that that aren't for you in any way, aren't for your people, aren't for your power, aren't for anything you stand for, and they are nothing like you. They are just somehow more important than your own people, than your own brothers, your own sisters, men that you have gone as far as broken bread with, lived it all your whole life. You have that share the same philosophies and share the same mindset as you. Because in many of these cases, that's what you see, especially in this Invisible. Because here you have a man that has spent thousands of years as a Viltrumite, okay, but then he decided to turn for a few 18 to 20 years of humanity. or he's trying to change his ways for just because he had a, just because of he had a he spent like 20 years on this on earth, okay. But that's not how it's going to be, okay, because you Edomites, you can't turn the elect, okay. And Esau may have gotten like two-thirds of our people, alright, and he may rejoice in the fact that he's gotten two-thirds of Israel, and he may think that he's turned away majority of our people from the Most High. But guess what? You haven't taken away anything that wasn't, you haven't taken away anything that belongs to the Most High, because it was already prophesied that two-thirds of our people would be, would be deceived, okay, would stumble and fall for this, for the doctrine, for your doctrine, and be taken, okay. But the elect, the people that actually matter, because these two-thirds don't matter, because they don't have it, okay. That's why the scripture said that what Israel has not obtained that which is seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. But the elect actually has, what our people, know what to save our people, okay. You cannot take them away. You cannot take them away from the Most High. Okay, so the Most High may have given you the two-thirds, but He will never give you the elect. And let me get some precepts, alright? The book of John 17. And I'll start from the 9th verse, right? And it reads, John 17 verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. And that is plain, okay? Because in Esau's media, this is why it's so important to consider what you see above what you have to consider what you see above everything that above everything that is being what I'm looking for, that is being displayed or being shown to you, okay, or above what you hear, or above what is being pushed, or the agenda that is being pushed before you. Because what Esau will tell you is that the rights of the many outweigh the good of the many outweigh the good of the few, okay. Or he tell you that we are all humans, that we all belong to one race, that it's more important to to safeguard the interest of the collective than of the few. But you see what these Edomites do, man. They gather and they heap for themselves. They heap the riches, okay, the fatness of the earth, for just just for the 1%, okay, the elites of their own people, okay. They selfishly gather everything up for themselves. And what have they given you, Israelites? Nothing. But they want you to believe that we are all humans, we are all people, and that you should, and that you should even going as far as betray your own people just to protect the interests of the world, even though by their own admission they hate you and they wish to destroy you, okay. But they want you to be that, and that's why you see Jake pushing heavily about how the Most High came for everybody. Even Esau can be saved. That's why you see Jake pushing so heavily for Esau to be able to receive salvation. You see camps like the Israelites, and I don't want to say camps. Well, basically Israelite churches like GOCC telling you that the so-called white man can be saved, even though that is nowhere in the scriptures. Even though Esau has no interest in safeguarding you people, because we know his agenda, okay. He is the one that has put our people in the mindset that they are in. He's the one that made the niggers. He's the one that made the so-called black woman. He's the one that made the nigger woman. He's the one that made the nigger man. Right? The whores and the dumbasses that our people have become. He's the one that created it, okay? Because what as the scripture says that he. Let me get that. He first and foremost, he giveth our people. Let me get that. What I have two pieces to get, so I'll get the first one. And here it is. Alright, the book of Habakkuk chapter 2. Yeah, starting from verse 15. Habakkuk 2 verse 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. That's exactly what Esau does, man. He introduces the sin to our people, and when they fall off, when they go off, he then looks upon our nakedness, and then he accuses our people to the Most High. That's why the scriptures call him what? The accuser of our brethren, okay? That's exactly what he is doing. That's exactly what he does with this whole niggerization of our people, man. Because he's just trying to make us. The church is trying to they will push our people into wickedness, so that he can accuse us against, so that he can accuse us to the Most High. I know it try to basically turn our people wicked, so that the Most High will turn against us and will abandon us, and they will become nothing. We will become his perpetual slaves forever. And the kingdom that Yahushua is bringing forth will never come to pass, okay? Because there will not be any elect to save. But what these devils don't understand, all right, or what they are trying to stop, is the rising of the elect, and the fact that the elect will never go and join hands with Esau Edom. Okay, so back to the book of John 17. I read the ninth verse. I'm going to continue on down. Right, which is why Ahosha said that what, that he's praying for his people. Okay, he's praying only for the elect and not for the world, and just for shits and giggles. Okay, just to make it very clear who Ahosha is speaking for when he says them. All right, I'm going to go to the word. I'm going to go to this word. I will see it here, cosmos. Okay, which is what that orderly arrangement. In other words, when he talks about praying between them and the world, think about what the Israel of Israel, the 1/3, the elect, and the rest of the Israelites. So even in this statement, man, even you other nations, you heathen, aren't even in Yahushai's mind. It's already a foregone conclusion that Yahushai will never pray for the heathen. Okay, it's not even an argument, but these Christians, they love to make this argument even though it's not an actual argument. Okay, so this is the word right here, cosmos.
Strong's G 2889, cosmos.
Strong's G 2889, cosmos, and it reads, an apt and harmonious arrangement or constitution, order, or government. Okay, and what's that word government go back into? The ruling, basically the ruling class of what? The house of Israel. Okay, that is an orderly arrangement, not the whole world, not oikomeni, but cosmos. In other words, the orderly arrangement. Okay, the one part of earth, the one part of the world which is our people, the world of Israel, which is basically what that world actually translates to. Okay, so now going back to that, John 17 verse 10, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to thee. Holy Father, keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are. Alright, so Yahushua is praying that word, that the elect be not taken away from the hands of the Most High, and that we continue to be in that mindset of in the same mindset as Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which is why you should always pray as long as you are in this truth. That the Most High, he casts not away from His presence, and He takes not that spirit away from you, man. That's because that's a heavy prayer right there. That's a prayer that our brothers should pray as often as they can. Okay, which should be at least twice a day. That's my personal recommendation. But anyway, going on down now to verse 12, and this is the main point. John 7 verse 12. While I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name. Those that thou givest me I have kept, and none of them is lost, but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled. Okay, I basically tell you that what you can't turn the elect to your side, because our Lord Yahushua will lose none of the elect, and any that slips through the cracks. Okay, any of these are people that Israelites are coming to this truth and fall off, and you there will think that you got one. That just shows that he was never part of this truth. Okay, that he was never of the elect. That was just his lot to be to come into this thing and endure for a little while, but then fall off. Okay, what that as the scriptures, because even the scriptures speak about that. If you go back to the parable of the sower, it talks about it. Okay, and also other parables as well, going into it, that there will be many of our people that will come into this thing. And even during Yahushai's ministry, you also had men or disciples that fell out, and especially, like, for example, during the time of the when Yahushua was giving the parable of them eating his flesh and drinking his blood, you had a lot of men that fell out because they couldn't understand what that meant. Okay, they thought that it actually meant that they will physically cannibalize Yahushua, but they didn't understand what that meant was, but basically that we have to consume this word, because the word is Yahushua. Okay, because the flesh and the blood I was speaking about was this word, this truth, okay, that will consume it, that will enter into us, okay. That's why you see so many parables about, you see so many parables going into men eating books like Ezekiel, and I believe the apostle Peter as well, okay. That word that you also told Ezekiel, eat the whole roll, that in your mouth it shall be sweet and your belly it shall be bitter, okay. That's basically all going into the elect, okay. Your witchcraft, globalism ideologies, it will not work on them, which of course I pray to be part of that number, okay, because all this is just Esau push. And let me get another precept in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, because all this is just Esau trying to push the idea that, all right, as I was saying, all this is just Esau trying to push the idea that, somehow in some way the elect will abandon their people, right? Will abandon the Most High, is the pillar that the Most High, which is what his inheritance, our power, and somehow come and help you, somehow come and stand with you devils, or stand by you devils, in order to protect your kingdom from Yahweh Shai, and that will never happen, okay. So this is the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, from the 24th verse, and it reads. Okay, the book of Matthew chapter 24 verse 24, and it reads, "For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." Okay, and there's another precept that goes into this exact same thing and tell you that what, but it is not possible to deceive the elect, because in the book of Numbers 24, I believe, it tells you that there is no enchantment against Jacob. All right. And that's why when you come into this truth, man, you're not affected by the vibrations of this world the same way that people that are in the world are. You listen to the music, you watch the news, alright, you watch the movies, and you don't see the same thing these people do, okay? You're not affected by the propaganda anymore, because you can see right through it. You know what is the truth and what is false, okay? The Most High has written his name in your spirit, and now nothing that the devil, none of the spirits that Esau is pushing can enter into you and turn you away from the Most High, if you are of the elect, of course. That's why the Esau's media doesn't affect you the same way it affects the other of our people, okay, the majority of our people, the 2/3 of our people, because you have been changed, okay. Your body, inwardly, you have been changed. Your inward man has been renewed, has been brought back to life. That breath has been put back inside you. Okay, so Esau believes that if he can turn one of the elect, right, going back to all these superhero movies that you see, which is basically going into that, because a more accurate representation of what would happen if men on the earth started developing superpowers. I constantly, and I say it again, and even the Elder Malcolm has gone into this, would be the movie Brightburn, okay, because you already know what that movie was about. The main character, which was a child at that time, around 12 years old, which is another bit of information that Esau is showing you there, that you truly become a man once you are 12 years old. Once he was 12, that's when he started developing his powers, and that is when the programming got basically, and that shows you just how spiritual that movie is, because as soon as he became a man, as soon as he became 12, the programming just switched on in his head. Okay, that is exactly what has happened to us in this truth, man. Because as soon as we came up to a certain age, alright, Yahushua has sent out programming through men, the other than the apostles that are doing that are pushing this word, and the spirits that was coming out of the truth, and the way that they were prophesying resonated with our spirits, and it just basically woke us up, okay, because we were like sleeper agents out here. I don't know if you actually know what sleeper agents actually means, because I'm a huge nerd about all this comic book stuff. So let me get the definition of the word sleeper agents, because that's basically what the elect are. We're like sleeper agents, and when we heard the word, the true word, that's when the doctrine woke up in us, and we came back to our Lord, which was what, as men of the Lord, if the Lord willing, we are that number, as men of the Most High, okay. So this is the definition of the word sleeper agent. A sleeper agent is a spy who is placed in a target country or organization, not to undertake an immediate mission, but to act as a potential asset if activated. Even if unactivated, the sleeper agent is still an asset and is still playing an active role in sedition, treason, or espionage by virtue of agreeing to act if activated. Okay, and that's why Esau sees the our people, the Israelites, as such a threat. Okay, because whether you wake up or not, it does not matter. You are still a threat because you have a threat of being there, because of the threat of you actually of what you can accomplish when you have been awoken. Okay, that's why even the two-thirds, even you celebrities that are under Esau's agenda, he still sees you as a threat, because it doesn't matter how far you've fallen. Okay, how far you fall in the Esau system, how much horrible things that you do, because how these celebrities get down. The fact that you can still repent and come back to the Most High is a threat to Esau, man, because it doesn't matter if you wake up to this truth or not, because as long as you're an Israelite, like I said before, you are still a threat. That's what makes our people so dangerous to this kingdom, man. Because that's why Esau wants to wipe up. That's why, going back to the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter, Esau wants to wipe away our people. Okay, that's what this whole depopulation agenda is all about. To clear out as much as the Israelites as possible. Because so long as our people exist, we will always have that threat of and it says it right here, sedition. Let me go back to that. We are still playing an active role in sedition, which is basically turning people against this government, which is what this truth has done. Because now we are exposing the wickedness of these devils, we are exposing the lies and his actual agenda, and even the average Edomite is not with it, because they see they have no place in Esau's coming kingdom. Because if they did, they would be wholly for it, of course. They wouldn't see any of these Edomites coming up and protesting, because they know that they will have a place in Esau's great reset, new world agenda type, the kingdom that is about to set up. But because they know that they don't have a place in that kingdom, that's why you see them having all these protests. Okay. But anyway, going back to what I was talking about. East believes that if he can turn one of the elect against the Most High, which once again he can't, that somehow, in some way, he will have a fighting chance against Yahweh Shimi Shai. But this place is true, man. It's over, okay? And the elect, okay, the Most High will never leave the side of Yahweh Shimi Shai. And you can go into the scriptures all for that. And you can also because, unlike what you see in these comics and in these movies, man, we will never ever fall away from the Most High. Okay, the Spirit has already been put in us, and that Spirit will never leave us unless Yahweh Shimi Shai decides to take away the Spirit from us, and he will never take away the Spirit from his elect. Okay, because he had chosen them, and the scriptures tell you about that we are chosen all from the beginning. Okay, so let me get this precept next. Revelation, the 14th chapter, and I'll start from the first verse. Okay, Revelation 14 verse 1, and it reads, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song, but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High to the Lamb." And that was the point right there, okay? But I have to get the whole verse because I was going into the 144,000. And the point is that we follow the Lamb whithersoever he... Let me read that again. Slakia. Revelation 14 verse 4, and it reads, "These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins." In other words, these doctrines of Esau did not defile us, okay? It did not change. Esau's doctrine did not affect us, because once again, there is no enchantment against Jacob, okay, against the elect. Alright, so Esau's doctrines did not defile us, because that's basically what it talks about when it talks about women, okay? Because if you really want to go deep into it, you know how Esau uses Eve in order to push his agenda. That's why whenever Esau is trying to push something, whenever Esau is trying to push something into the black community, you always see the so-called nigger woman in front of it. So that's why Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and them are getting more and more traction and more popular and being pushed so heavily on the YouTube. All of their videos constantly trending and the like. Okay, because he is trying to use the nigger woman, okay, Eve, to push his agenda. Okay, that's why you're seeing because once women, because women are can be metaphorically associated with doctrine, okay. And then once because and what we're not defiled with these women because we are because they are virgins, okay. Now and continuing and the next part, these are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth, and that is self-explanatory, okay. We are disciples of Yahweh Shai. In other words, we only do the things in which we follow the will of Yahweh Shai. We follow the ways of Yahweh Shai. Everything that he did, we study under him. That's why, going back to this Passover, when the others and the apostles wanted to make an example of a Passover, we used what? We used Yahweh Shai's Passover, okay? We didn't use the Passover of Josiah, which you can go into as a big party, because that's what the brothers want to use. But we used Yahweh Shai's Passover, which had no women. There was a solemn assembly between him and the 12, okay. And we talked about how the circumstances during that Passover, because we are the disciples of Yahweh Shai, because it is him, right, and it is through him that we come back to the Most High. So we're not dealing directly with the Most High, but we are dealing with the Most High through Yahweh Shai, okay. And then the last part, these were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. Meaning that what? That we were chosen, alright, from the beginning of time. We are the first fruits. In other words, the first men, the first creatures created by the Most High and by Yahweh Shai, okay. And that's why we are the elect, because we have been chosen from the beginning of time, okay. This thing is older than than these physical bodies that we have. It's big and it's far bigger than us, okay. But you have these devils, and I keep having to go back to this because when you see when I was watching through this, and also when I was watching through that's Invisible and seeing the way the character Omni-Man betrayed his people all just for one single planet, man. After he destroyed so many other planets and put so many other planets under their rule, okay. He was one of their greatest warriors, and yet just for 20 a few just for like 2 decades on that planet, compared to the thousands of the hundreds or possibly thousands of years that he had lived. And he betrayed that planet. I just thought about how unlikely that actually is, and how Esau just using this as an agenda to push our people, alright, to defend these devils, even though they do not deserve it. But the elect will never defend him, and I cannot turn away the elect. You cannot change the minds or turn or sway the hearts of the elect with your wickedness, okay. Because the elect, because just from reading these precepts, just from reading these precepts, you already know where the mind state of our people are in. It is in the things, it is in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, it is in Yahweh Shai, okay, because that is who we are waiting for to grant us deliverance from this kingdom. That is our Savior. Alright, that is who we trust in, not you devils, or not in anything that you can give us or provide for us, or in this wicked ass kingdom, man. Because there is nothing here, okay. Because in the in the Invisible series, one of the main reasons why he betrayed his people was for his son, which was the main character of that series, and his wife, okay. But that's going into spoilers a little bit, so lucky about that. But anyway, but in actuality, man, the elect, not even for children, not even for wives, because what the scriptures say, man, we forsaken all those things and followed after, alright, our Lord Yahweh Shai. It's not even for, it's not even for wives, not even for children, not even for family, not for nothing, man. There's nothing that is in this kingdom that can sway that can sway the hearts of the elect away from Yahweh Shai, okay. So you devils cannot turn the elect. Alright, so with that, I'm just going to end it right there. I'm going to end it right there. And I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory once again unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha Kwadash, Wa Abad Babal, and through the Spirit, I hope you Akim and you Akwaf were edified. Shalom.